Local 4 News at 5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Needleman.
And I'm Tiffany Lundberg. Thanks for joining us for Local 4 News at 5.
3 people are now in custody after a car chase ended near Davenport's Vanderveer Park.
That is tonight's top story. Police say that started shortly before 2 this afternoon. That's when they received reports of shots fired near 14th and Iowa Streets. That's also when Central High School went on lockdown as a precautionary measure.
Officers say they found shell casings at this scene. Witnesses provided a description of the car. Police spotted the car nearby and tried to stop it. They say that's when the driver took off speeding and the chase started from there. Local 4's Tahira Rahman joins us live from where that chase ended. Tahira?
Jim, Tiffany, I'm at Harrison and Rush Home Streets, where just a couple of hours ago this whole section of the road was blocked off to traffic. There were several squad cars on the scene, and between 2 of them was a red sedan that was pinned right by that pole right behind me. Now, we know that inside that car were at least 3 people. Some of them had minor injuries. Police say that they also have 2 women and 1 man in custody right now.
They pursued the vehicle for a short time period to where it ended up here after they pinned the vehicle in. Right now we do have some damage with that vehicle, minor injuries, and we do have 3 people detained.
Now, police also say that none of their officers were injured during today's chase. Now, there were several dozen onlookers at the scene. We're right at the edge of Vanderveer Park, where you can imagine dozens of people walk through every day. One woman, who's also a mom, tells me she's not surprised about what she came upon today. We'll have more from her coming up at 6, but for now, live in Davenport, Tahira Rahman, Local 4 News.
Tahira, thank you for that update. A 12-year-old boy accused of bringing a loaded gun to North Scott Junior High School appeared in court again this morning.
He will remain in the juvenile detention facility. He appeared in court again this morning at the Scott County Courthouse with a defense attorney. Local 4 News is not identifying him because he's still a minor. His
parents and grandparents were there while the judge closed the hearing to the public and the media. Local 4 News will keep you up to date with the developments as this case moves through the courts.
There is a new app in the Quad Cities that could help keep your kids safe in the classroom.
It's called the P3 Campus app. Designed is geared towards students in kindergarten through 12th grades. The app lets anyone with access to a smartphone submit anonymous leads to Crime Stoppers. That can be anything from concerns to suspicious activity, suicide warnings, bullying, and more.
And today, parents say it puts some of their fears at ease. Local 4's Kelly Bowles joins us in the studio with their reaction. Kelly?
Jim and Tiffany, as of today, this P3 Campus app is available to most school districts in the Quad Cities area, and anyone who does not already have access should within the next few weeks. And today, both police and parents say this could mean change for the better. School threats, shootings, violence, and more. They're all problems schools are facing across the nation and right here in the Quad Cities. But now adults can have some extra help with keeping schools safe from students themselves.
It gives children and parents a way to anonymously report issues.
With P3 Campus, it gives kids a safe space to speak up before it's too late.
It's a way that we can share information, and the student or family can feel safe in the fact that they are anonymous in doing so.
For parents and relatives like Becky Schoenthaler, those fears are very real. After just a few weeks ago, a student brought a gun to class at North Scott Junior High.
Very nervous and wondering where they were and if they were in the room.
But now they hope this app could mean stopping these threats in their tracks.
Because that's what they're always thinking. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get in trouble, you know, and I just feel that it would probably help a little bit.
Detective John Leach says that when it comes to kids, oftentimes confidentiality is key.
What I've seen in my own personal experiences is kids are apprehensive to go down to the office to report a crime or something they've seen. They don't want to be labeled a snitch.
And says even a tip that seems small could make a big difference.
Most kids, are inherently good and know right from wrong. So if you feel a situation is wrong, report it.
A change parents say they want to see in the hallways.
Someone they know that they don't really want to rat on, or they think something's not right, though, gives them an anonymous way to go ahead and, alert somebody.
And Crime Stoppers hopes access to help digitally will make safer schools a reality. And in addition to Crime Stoppers receiving these anonymous tips, school administrators will have the option to receive the tips as well. Police say right now the first steps are encouraging everyone to download the app and to get people to feel comfortable with using it. In the studio, Kelly Bowles, Local 4 News.
Kelly, thank you. The Iowa State Patrol has released partial dash cam video from the evening Moline Police Chief John Hitchcock was pulled over for speeding. That happened on September 7th on Highway 61 between Eldridge and Long Grove. The chief was charged with driving while intoxicated. You can see in this video that Hitchcock is exiting the truck. He walks to the passenger side of the police car, and that's where that video cuts off. Hitchcock's blood alcohol level was recorded at 0.201. Police say the chief was given several sobriety tests. Local 4 is looking into why that video cuts off before those tests. Hitchcock is currently on paid administrative leave.
Autopsy results indicate the man whose body was found in Galesburg Saturday night drowned. Police say a pedestrian saw a 23-year-old Tyler Smith's body in Cedar Fork. It's a concrete canal that runs through Galesburg. The police chief says it's something most people are familiar with in that area, but Smith might not have known about it because he was in town from California fulfilling Illinois Army National Guard obligations. The chief also says recent rain might have made the canal more dangerous.
Ordinarily, it's fairly dry, though there's always a little bit of water in it, and there has been a little bit in it on Saturday, and it appears that the deceased person died of drowning.
Police say there are no signs of foul play.
We now know the names of the two pedestrians killed on Brady Street late Thursday night. The victims are 46-year-old Merle Rudd and 56-year-old Edward Mahidi, both of Davenport. Around 10:30 on Thursday night, police responded to that scene that was near 65th and Brady Streets. Rudd and Mahidi were pronounced dead shortly after they arrived. The investigation is still ongoing. A Milan man tells Local 4 News he paid $4,200 for work at an East Moline auto shop that was never completed.
It's a story you'll see on Local 4 News first. Rusty Swickard tells Local 4 News he took his Hummer to Burt Motorsports in March to rebuild the engine.
Now, Local 4 News has put out multiple calls to Burt Motorsports, but we have not yet heard back. Local 4's Sean Logging has been looking into this story and joins us now in our newsroom with what he has uncovered. Sean?
Jim, Tiffany, Rusty Swikart tells me now almost 6 months later his car is left worse than when he dropped it off. The motor is now in dozens of pieces. He tells me after months of waiting to get the work done, he had it towed and found the engine's parts scattered across his seats of the car, and items were missing. He is now working with 2 different auto shops just to get the car in working order. Swikart tells me he had first thought this business was reputable, but is now learning he's not the only one out lots of money. He's now weighing his options of what to do.
$4,202. It's quite a bit of money. And like I said, it's been broke down for 10 months, so for them 4 months, I saved up and did what I had to do to get that money together to be able to pay for this, and then this is what happens.
Swikart tells me he has filed a police report, but his legal options are limited to civil action. Local 4 News is digging deeper into this business. In the last year, there have been several court cases involving Burt Motorsports and its owners. 3 of them involved improper transfer of a vehicle's title as required by law. In the newsroom, Sean Logging, Local 4 News.
Sean, thann you.
Chief Meteorologist Ann McCrae here now on a pretty warm day out there, huh?
Especially for this time of year. Even if we had this temperature in July, it'd feel warm then,
sure.
Let alone mid-September. We were actually closer to the record high today than the normal high. You'll see what I mean here with the almanac numbers. Today's record 96 from back in the 1920s. Today we hit 92, so that's way above the average high of 77. I do have more warm weather in the forecast, several rain chances too. That's coming up next on Local 4 News at 5.
WHBF is local for you with Jim Needleman, Tiffany Lundberg, and Chief Meteorologist Andy McCrae. This is Local 4 News at 5 in high definition.